call is being recorded.
Chief Sales Officer here at Wakanna, and welcome to Wake Up to Wakanna. And we're giving a shout out to Martin Luther King Day. This is his birthday, and we're celebrating and honoring him. And so but now I'm going to get out of the way, bring up our CEO, someone I've known, 17 years now. God, time passes so fast. I'm telling you guys. And I guess, she made a huge impact on my life the very first time I met her, because she said she fired her boss. And up until that point, I don't know anybody that just actually fired their boss, making six figures in corporate America, but that was not serving what she wanted in her life. And so she went on to do social selling full time, became MVP of 3 companies, and built teams in over 46 countries, and was able to spend that time that she wanted with the people that meant the most. Well, guys, she pivoted back in 2017. I can't believe this time is passing. And went back into corporate America when she took a position as CEO of a cannabis company. And then in 2019, who came about was Wakanna. And here we are. And guess what? After all of those accolades, and some I left out because there's so many more, the best is yet to come. Melissa, are you out there?
Hey, Phyllis. Good morning. Can you hear me?
I can.
Okay, great. Awesome. Wow. Well, yes. Happy Martin Luther King Day to everybody. Phyllis, I tell you what, it's been just such an epic last 12 days. Excited to be back on the call. Happy Monday to everyone. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to all of our brand new distributors. These are exciting times. We are here in a brand new year and just super excited about all that's happening. Got a lot to share, guys, so I'm going to get right in it. But, Phyllis, every time I get on this call, I hear you give me these accolades, and I want to just tell you how humbled I am, because you're someone who literally has been a hero to me from the first time I met you. I mean, you were just breaking records, doing it so big, in our business. I mean, we look at you as our first diamond, our first double diamond. I mean, you are our midwife, helping all of us give birth to unlimited possibilities as our CSO. So just so grateful and appreciative for you for all that you do. And again, welcome to the call. Thank you all so much for waking up this morning to Wakanna. I'll kick us off by sharing our vision and mission. Our vision is we exist to help end the negative stigma that has caused communities around the world to suffer and lose out on the health and wealth benefits of the cannabis plant. Our mission is we are the catalyst to stir a movement that inspires people to confidently move into the legal space as entrepreneurs, formulators, and investors, evoking the courage and strength of people to take back their health, wealth, legacy, and freedom. So yes, I want to just jump right into some of the topics for today. We have a lot to talk about. First and foremost, I do want to remind everyone that for our business, for anyone who earns income, this is what we call, tax season, 1099 season, in the sense that this is the month in which they go out, which means there's some critical information. I know you guys some of you have received texts, some of you received emails. Please get back with Kathy at wakanna.com so we can ensure, you get your 1099 on time, okay? In fact, we want to also help simplify the process for those of you who do agree. You fill out the steps that Kathy and the team has sent out. I know Dr. Ross has sent out so much communication. Then guess what? You can actually get yours electronically and save yourself from all the hassle that happens when people are waiting for things in the mail that sometimes never shows up, because guess what? The mail is not always 100%, okay? So make sure you connect so that you can get your information and go on and get those taxes filed. So now that we got that out the way, I want to give you guys just a little bit of insight on my trip to Las Vegas and just share some things that are coming down the pipeline. First of all, I'm going to say one word today, and that word is energy, okay? Energy, right? Energy is everything, right? When we talk about the fact that we're made of energy, and you hear, our awesome trainers and our naturopaths and our doctors talking about increasing our energy, our frequency. It's also amazing when you can put yourself at the right place at the right time, with the right group of people, how that could absolutely raise your energy, okay? And over the past 12 days, I can tell you, that's how I feel. I came back with a renewed energy, a renewed focus, and just so much excitement about our future. I can hardly contain it, guys. One of the big things that we're working on for our April conference, we have a tagline that says, Wakanna, we've really been the best kept secret, right, that no one has ever heard of. I want you to think about that for a second. The best kept secret that no one has ever heard of, right? Well, until April, okay? Until we let the cat out the bag with our new branding, our new release, and so much momentum. But I want you to think about, even for those of you who've been a part of the leadership call, listening to some of our top leaders, some of the experts. Perhaps you attended the Super Saturday that we had in December. You had a chance to hear Jarvis Wright, right, as he broke it down, why this is the best kept secret that no one has ever heard of. When you think about our comp plan, our products, our testimonials, I mean, we have the makings of a multi-billion-dollar company. We know that that's in our future. And again, being in Vegas, it was so much validation because a lot of times, we're running in our lane, right? And we're running hard, okay? But when you meet big, huge, companies and, people that have been leaders of these big, huge companies, and they explain, some of the history of these companies. In fact, one of the companies, not going to say the name, but they started about 26 years ago. That's when they started their business, 26 years ago. They're a family-owned operation, so it's ran, by a family. And it's a network marketing company. It's a huge network marketing company, guys. But guess what? They grew every year by 44%. Their goal was to have slow, steady, consistent growth every single, and that wasn't even considered slow growth. That's considered what we call great growth, okay? Because I've given the stats before as it relates to what does it mean to really grow your business at a proper pace or whatever. But their goal was 44% year after year. In fact, it was a range, but they averaged out to be about 44% every single year. Now, it took them 23 years. I want you to hear me, guys. It took them 23 years to hit $1 billion, okay? But do you know that once the first billion came, the second came, the third came, the fourth came, the fifth came in a matter of just a couple of years? And that's the power of building a company the right way. In fact, we were looking and talking about the top 100 companies in the world. And when we were looking at those, of course, we know that 99% of them are health and wellness companies because we know that health and wellness companies are really what sustains this type of industry. So you really need a product-focused company. But also, too, when you look at the growth of those companies, and you look at when they started, when you look at their first 10 years, right? When you look at their first 20 years, when you look at their first 50 years, okay, because, yes, some of them are over 100 years in business. Some of them had 10% growth, their first 10 years, right? Some of them had 20%. It was different ranges. But what was common is that you didn't see, these companies that were your typical, what we call immediate rocket ships, right? Because we've been a part of those immediate rocket ships, right? Those companies that go from 0 to 100 million in like 18 months. And do you know that the companies that we've been a part of that have done that are actually no longer in business? Is that kind of crazy? Because when you really think about it, it's kind of a cliche, right? When you think about that steady pace, whether it's, things we've read about as children, they talk about the tortoise and the hare, right? But the reality is, it's that steady growth that builds the bamboo story. And what is the bamboo story? The bamboo tree talks about foundation. It talks about building a proper business. I talked about this before when I talked about Tracy Lynn. She actually owns a jewelry company. She actually, outside of us, right, is the only African-American female owner in the space, right? And do you know that her company, has actually hit close to $100 million in sales? And she talks about that very same concept that this gentleman was telling me about with his company. And I was just blown away because I'm like, you know what, this is the reason why we really put together our Wakanna business for this to be a legacy company. We didn't want to be some fly by night. Yeah, everybody has a great run. We all take $20, $30 million out because of a great initial run. But we wanted this to be a legacy company from the beginning, which means we had to build it the right way. And so you get to the bamboo tree, right? You get to the fact that there's sometimes years of building proper infrastructure. And then when that infrastructure is properly built, all of a sudden you start to see, right, the evidence, okay, of all of that and the success manifesting. And the reason why I think I got so pumped up and excited, because when I think about our growth, okay, and the fact that we've had 30% growth year after year after year, we've been steady, we've been consistent. Our story is we're debt free, right? I mean, we own 97% of our company, okay? I mean, that's unheard of. And when you think about, again, what Jarvis broke down when he talked about what type of company do you want to pick if you're working to build a legacy business that's going to pay you millions of dollars, is this type of company. We're here at the ground floor. We're at the beginning. We're doing it the right way. We have all the makings, right, of the next multi-billion-dollar company, and you are here with us, right? Not just along for the ride, but a part of the process, right? Many of you are going to be a part of the storylines, right? When this manifests, and all of a sudden we see that massive momentum hit past 150,000 distributors, right? I mean, that's just exciting to think about. And so some of the items for me that came out of Vegas, was also just looking at fulfillment. Had a chance to really see our future as it relates to when we do launch our business around the world, right? How is that going to look from a fulfillment side? How is that going to look even when we go from $1 million a month, like we did in November, to now $3 million a month, like we're gearing for this year to have our first $3-4 million month, right? How does that look? And what's exciting is the sky isn't the limit, because this time there is no limits, okay? As I said, we're not just going to the top, we're busting through the top, because you really realize there are infinite possibilities. When you find companies that have solutions, right, for all scenarios. As I was explaining last week, there was a pet company, okay, who did over $100 million in sales last year. And do you know that they did not ship one of their products, okay? Guess who they used? One of the fulfillment companies that we had a chance to meet with, guys. And so it's exciting to see our possibilities. It's exciting to really allow us to start to focus on the things that we're really good at, okay? There's certain things that we're really good at. So we build a business from A to Z from scratch, which means the initial formulations, that initial pain cream, that's not a white label pain cream that we got from some CBD company. That's our pain cream. That recipe is proprietary to us. We were in the labs, okay, mixing the formulas, putting it together. And that same pain cream recipe that was developed, okay, almost 4 years ago. In fact, really about 4 years ago, because the process started in about March. But that's the same exact recipe that we use today. And so again, we've owned our processes, whether it's formulation, right? Whether it's going out, and taking the products and putting the design element, shipping the products. See, we've owned it from A to Z. And that's allowed us to build a business that we understand. And there's nothing better than understanding your business model, being able to sit in a boardroom with people that are sometimes prepared to spend millions of dollars, right? And be able to answer the toughest questions, because again, we've done this from scratch, from A to Z. But now it's time for us to assess the things that we do great. And it's time to assess the things that there are other companies who do much better, because that's what those companies are designed to do. There's a lot of companies that are not designed to be product companies. They have no desire to manufacture, process products, but what they exist for is to be the Amazons of fulfillment, right? When you think about Amazon's one of the greatest examples of not just having a business that ships products, right? But they have hubs. They're like a FedEx, okay? They're like a FedEx, because when you really think about that, they partner with all the great shipping companies to have hubs all across the country. So you sometimes get your product the same day. How do they do that? It's all about the hub. It's all about where they actually position their business. And when you really think about having fulfillment now on the West Coast, perhaps having a fulfillment center in Texas, imagine having a fulfillment center on the East Coast, what that's going to do for our shipping times, especially when you're working with some of these companies where they have 99.6% accuracy rates, okay, which is unheard of, right? Because again, that's what they specialize. And so it's exciting, to know that there are companies out there that exist just to make your life easier, more efficient, and to help you scale your business to tens of millions, to hundreds of millions, to billions of dollars. And so this for me is exciting, guys, because again, when we're used to doing so much of this ourselves, to be able to see this thing through. In fact, I remember when we stopped formulating our own product in the lab we were renting out. We were renting out a space here in Chicago, okay? I would get in that lab and Phyllis and Dr. Rita would join me and they would call me the mad scientist, okay? Because guess what we were there doing, guys? We were there creating, okay? Utilizing our time, our expertise to develop some of the best products. But then we went out and found a lab that had a USDA credential, and we started outsourcing our pain cream. We started outsourcing our premium. So still our proprietary blends, but we were now allowing the experts to do what they do. And we went from being able to do a few hundred bottles a week sometimes, right, to thousands of bottles, right? Literally being able to produce thousands of bottles, sometimes within a 24-hour period. And so what that did is it helped to position and scale our business for the times like November, right? So we can fulfill those products and not run out of products, not be waiting 6 or 7 months for products. I've seen companies, where they start up something, they do launches, and guess what? People are waiting 6 to 8 months for products. So you've not seen that here with Wakanna, right? We've had a chance to, find those companies and have those partnerships. And so we've started the process, but now it's just time to go to the next level, to bring even bigger contacts, bigger relationships with, so that we can truly become that multi-billion-dollar brand. And it wasn't just for fulfillment. So yes, I had a chance to meet with some of the logistics and fulfillment centers, but also too had a chance to really preview some of what the team is putting together for the 420 conference, our 420 lifestyle conference that's happening in Las Vegas, that you guys booked out literally in a matter of hours. I mean, our hotels, not only did we sell out of our hotels, but we more than doubled. So we did open that block. So for those of you who did send deposits in recently, just know we're accommodating everyone. There will be a cutoff point. So we're going to announce probably sometime this week the cutoff point, which means if you didn't get it in, okay, it's going to be too late to get the particular block we're working with, guys. So make sure you get those in. But super excited to see some of what will happen there in Vegas, to meet with our DJ. Oh my goodness, she's phenomenal. I had a chance to go to one of her shows. It was amazing. Oh my goodness, guys, just a lot of fun. You guys are going to absolutely love this amazing woman, who is really just, showing up and showing out, really representing. She's an African-American female. She's a boss, and she is getting it done like no other, guys. Also, too, another exciting element that really resonated with me. We talk all the time about samples, and we've worked to provide, sample products. I mean, we have our sample pain cream, our sample gummies. So we recognize that sampling is a big part of your success here inside of network marketing, right? You want to be able to have a business that you can share, that you can sample. And so when we first did the pain creams and the gummies, we knew that was going to be big. We knew that having a demonstrable business, and those two products we believe are demonstrable. Demonstrable basically means when somebody has an experience that's under 24 hours, right? And with our pain cream, sometimes it's a matter of minutes, right? Sometimes it's a matter of seconds, okay? With our gummies, typically, especially with the gummies that are the Delta 8, that can happen in a matter of minutes. It can happen in a matter of hours. With the other gummies, they get a restful sleep. They notice something from them. So that's a great product line to sample. But I want you to think about this for a second, guys. Our number one selling product line, okay, is what? Our flat belly lifestyle. We know that if we just took our business and that's the only product we had, okay, we can build a multi-billion dollar business just around that, okay? But think about it, okay? Yeah, we now have the 7 days, and you can see how the 7 days exploded, okay? 21 days was always the staple. 7 days sells probably 7 times faster than the 21 days, right? So that was a move in the right direction, right? Because people want to be able to experience something in a shorter time, right? They don't always want to make a commitment, okay? And so we know this, okay? But think about this. Our flat belly products are not available in a sample form yet, okay? I just understand this. One of the products, one of the gentlemen gave me from this other company that's been around for 26 years, it was a product that really was like a superfoods product, okay? And it was in a little bitty sample pack. And my face lit up. I said, you don't know what you just did. I said, because we keep talking about sampling and making our business demonstrable. But what he did for me is he validated that point as it relates to next level for us. Because what he explained was this product was his number one seller. He says, I put this sample in the hands of everybody. He says, when I built my team, was working in Africa, he said, the game changer of this product in third world countries where people can't often afford, healthy groceries and things of that nature. He said, it's a game changer. He said, because this is almost like your health care in a little sack. And I'm giving it to people, having them have a chance to try it. The energy they get, the fact that they feel nourished, something they can do on a daily basis. And so as he was explaining that, the one thing that came to my mind is like, oh my goodness, this is such timing, okay? Because as we're gearing up for Wakanna, one of the things we've been working on is which products are we going to streamline, which products are we going to put in sample form. We're working with bigger fulfillment companies on the manufacturing side to also figure out, hey, which products we're going to outsource to some of the big guys so that they can go out and do these monster samples for us. But what it tells us and what that reminded me is of the future we have, guys. Because if we already have this amazing flat belly system that people are buying, it's flying off the shelf, our number one selling product, period, okay? When we now have the ability to take that flat belly product, and let's say it's just a superfood that we're developing where we're going to have that as a monthly staple, right? We're going to really start highlighting that, okay? In fact, we're going to have two formulations of it. One of them will have some fruit extracts, whether it's apple powder, just to make it a little bit sweeter so people can put it in water. So if they are in a third world country, perhaps they can't juice and they can't extract, it could be something that's as instant as a power green type supplement, right? I mean, think about the power of that. And so imagine what your business is going to look like when you can start getting one or two products that you can put in people's hands, they can try immediately, and the results that you get from that, because that's what takes companies into that next realm of momentum, is being able to sample your product. And our company that we were with, it was an anti-aging company, folks. When they came out with a technique for us to sample a product that was so demonstrable, our business exploded. That's how I took my team in over 40 plus countries around the world. It was through this one product that we were able to sample, and it became demonstrable. And so just know that our future is so exciting, guys. In fact, speaking of our futures, let's talk about this past weekend. We actually had our 5th class for our wellness coach certification on the bioscan. If you are a coach, it's a great training to rewatch again. A lot of times we learn something so new every time we hear that class, and last night was no different. There were certain tips that I received from that class that I had not heard before in any of the other ones. And so coaches, again, stay plugged in. It's always great to see everyone, plug into that. This weekend, guys, on Saturday, we're making a few changes, okay? But I got something epic to share, right? So we got a few things that are epic. One of them is instead of our Super Saturday, we're going to do a Super Zoom. So we will launch our brand new me. You will get all the details, but it's going to be via Zoom. While some of us will be at the office, it's not required, guys. Everyone can be via Zoom, okay? Because what our goal is to ensure that we get the details out surrounding the brand new me in 2023 and how you get paid to lose weight. So that's going to be an exciting call. We want you to load it up with customers. In fact, I'll give you the Zoom ID and the passcode so that you can have that for your records and be ready for Saturday. That's going to happen at 12 noon Central Time, so that you can just pump it up again, get all of your guests, get all of your team. But here's what we're going to do. We're going to pivot for our weekend where we were going to do our Super Saturday, and we're going to do a super weekend, okay? And I'm going to tell you about that. In fact, I first got an inquiry from Tara. She said, hey, let's do, she was really excited about Super Bowl. She said, I want to do a Super Bowl party. And I'm like, that's a phenomenal idea. Let's do that, right? And she had a lot of creative ideas surrounding that. She was like, hey, we can turn this part of the dispensary into like a little football field or something. And you know me, I love creative ideas. So my mind started spinning and I'm like, okay, girl, we're in. Let's do it together. Let's collaborate. So we're going to do a big Super Bowl party, but it's going to be bigger than that, guys. And so again, this weekend on Zoom. And the reason why we wanted to do that so we can really get you geared up for 2 days. And I want you to mark your calendars for our super weekend. In fact, going to Vegas. Again, energy is everything. Tara gave me energy with that idea, went to Vegas, had a chance to meet with some phenomenal people. And out of all of this, we've now launched this super weekend, guys. So February the 11th, okay? February the 11th and February the 12th. It's going to be very limited seating. So this is not going to be just come and show up type of event, okay? These are exclusive events that you're going to have a ticket in your hand, okay? Which means we will have tickets on sale for this. And we are limiting this to the number of distributors that can attend because we really want to make this about guests, okay? Now, before I give you the rest of the details, before I forget, let me give you the meeting ID for this Saturday, okay? So this Saturday, the meeting webinar ID is 854-9973-3603, okay? I'm going to repeat that one more time, but this will go out. Dr. Roz will get this out to everybody, but 854-9973-3603. So now that you've written that down, the passcode, okay, the passcode for this is New Me 2023. So NEWME 2023, and that's all lowercase. So New Me 2023. That's your passcode for the Zoom that we're doing at 12 noon Central this Saturday. So we can launch our brand new Me in 2023 via our Super Zoom, okay? So now that we got that out the way, let me tell you about our Super Weekend, okay? So Saturday, February the 11th from 10 to 2, we have, and this is something we're going to be working with the local aldermen. We're going to really work to get the Bronzeville community and the folks here on the South Side committed to this event because we want this to be similar to the We Cafe opening we did. We had over 400 people come through that event, guys. This is going to be big, and you're going to want to be a part of it, and you're going to want to be a scanner because we're also going to open this up for people that are scanning. If there's a guest that's unconfirmed, which means no one invited them, the scanners will be able to rotate and take those leads, okay? We've already confirmed Dr. Prince. He's going to be the keynote for that day. Sharon Dorsey. In fact, Karen Calabrese, if you know Karen, she's actually owned a lot of the vegan restaurants here in Chicago and the city. Now she's moved out to the suburbs. She's got a new restaurant out there, so she is going to come through, and we're super excited about that. Bo Tomlin will be coming from Florida. He's a health and wellness expert guru. In his network marketing career, he built over 50,000 people in his downline, and we're super excited to have him join us. Many folks from our medical advisory staff, and this is also going to be a Super Bowl themed event. We're going to have it set up in the dispensary looking like the Super Bowl because we know that so many times people get so excited about the Super Bowl, but this is the Super Bowl for your health, for your life, okay, for your wealth. And so it's going to be a Super Bowl theme. In fact, we're working with a local celebrity chef, some local performers, and we really want to make it community driven. So there's going to be people speaking, all day long. It's going to be the panel will be speaking, but while they're doing that, there's going to be scans happening simultaneously. So from that time, from 10 to 2, we're going to work to ensure every guest that's sitting in those seats have a chance to still listen and get what we call a silent scan. So no one's going to talk during the scan. You're going to be able to scan, and then we're going to actually have a session where the scans are going to be explained. So that way every single guest can get scanned that day with no distractions to the speakers, guys. But guess what? It gets even bigger because we're going to then have another event because, again, this is Super Weekend. When you think about Super Bowl, guys, they have All-Star Weekend. They do event after event. They have parties, guys. Well, from 4 to 8, it's going to be for the grown and sexy because we're doing a pop-up dispensary with the Valentine's theme. So all of our CBD lubes and everything's going to be highlighted. This is going to be a great event for couples to come out, okay? But it's going to be another Super Bowl theme. But we're going to actually do a pop-up dispensary because our upstairs in the inner portion where that black wall is and that long table normally is displayed, that's going to actually be a pop-up dispensary in our own establishment, guys, okay? Which means this. We're going to have some local models. They're going to be our bud tenders, okay? We have a DJ, okay? A fashion show, performers, bud tenders, okay? Our experts will be in the white coats. And so here's what this means, guys. If you ever have people that you really tried to get them to understand why the Wakanna brand, or maybe, they just have never stopped by the dispensary, this is going to be the must-see event. This is going to be Las Vegas style, guys. We are doing this Las Vegas style. In fact, this idea was inspired because I was able to meet the manager for some of the road manager for people like Snoop Dogg, okay? This guy was so electrifying, and he took me to one of the dispensaries they had there. He said he helped blow this dispensary up. He said, I took it from $200 and something thousand a month to over $3 million a month. And he was just so exciting. His energy was infectious. I was like, oh my God. I said, you guys, you're awesome, right? In fact, so he's actually flying to Chicago. And so, we haven't even had a chance to fully talk yet, but that planted a seed. And so I said, listen, we got to get you here because we can take our own dispensary and turn it into a pop-up, okay? We may not have the same floor space that they have in Vegas, but we have our upstairs. And so it's like, duh. In fact, we can do pop-up dispensaries every month. Imagine having a DJ, having bud tenders. Imagine having sample days, guys. I mean, we could take our dispensary and turn it into a $3 million dispensary here locally alone, okay, in addition to the millions of dollars we're doing online. And so for all of our cannabis experts, they're going to come in the white coat. So for our medical advisory team, we're going to invite you to be a part of the white coat so that you'll be back behind, those dispensary walls, able to answer questions, able to help our customers out. And the fashion show that we're going to do that night, it's going to be with the new Wakanna gear that's coming. So we got some new Wakanna gear that's coming. And so we're going to have a little bitty fashion show in the midst of that, guys. I'm telling you, we're just going to turn it out. For 2023, just know there's going to be so many ideas, so many things that happen. We're bringing back Pink Rush, okay? So we're bringing Pink Rush back, and that's coming back. I believe we're doing March the 4th, so stay tuned. And we're taking that to the next level. It's not going to be your typical Pink Rush. It's going to be an elevated experience. We're having an infused meal, a 7-course meal, where they're going to be infusing some amazing food, guys. So again, this is next level season. This is time to put your strategies in place. For us, we look at our office as a gold mine, okay? It's a gold mine that's been underutilized. We have a dispensary right there at 411 East 35th Street, right? That's bigger, okay, than most of the dispensaries in Vegas, okay? The only one that is not bigger than is Planet 13, but that's almost bigger than Walmart, okay? And therefore, to me, that was not a high-end experience. The high-end experience actually came at some of the smaller dispensaries, guys, so we can create that high-end premium dispensary experience right here in Chicago, Illinois. We can get all the local rappers and celebrities to start dropping through our dispensary and take it to the next level, and just finding and meeting people, like-minded people. Chef GQ, oh my goodness, Marcella Javaris on your team. I mean, this guy was next level. I mean, he opened up so many doors for me there in Chicago. In Las Vegas. It was ridiculous. So just excited, guys, about what's happening, excited about our future, excited about what we have as our game plan. And so you're going to get more details about all of these events. But the first thing you want to do is definitely, check your email so that you can get the details for this Saturday and get that blasted out to every single person you know. And so with that being said, as you know, today is Momentum Monday. Again, happy MLK Day to everybody on the line. Also, too, I want to remind everyone that we do have our Rebound with Wakanna.com happening right now. So get on your rebounder. Let's get moving, okay? 2:30 p.m. Central. We can save our strands. And oh my goodness, while I was in Las Vegas on Monday, I then drove to California, had a chance to meet with Doris Mosley. That team is amazing. And I'm telling you what, her healing hair days are next level. She's bringing that to the 420 conference. So stay tuned. Excited about that. 7:30 p.m. Central tonight, our corporate Zoom. And then tomorrow at 8 a.m., we have our Diamond Factory. So you do not want to miss your opportunity to take your business to the next level. And with that being said, guys, I want you to have a Wakanna day. We're going to see you at the top, the very top, the tip top. And yes, this time we are busting through the top.